Hey, y'all, welcome into the building. I don't know, my dress is all twisted up right now. I gotta fix myself. Welcome into the building, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Are y'all ready? Are y'all still watching? I know a lot of y'all gave up, but I'm still watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, okay? And we got all with a show to talk about today. Now, I looked at the ticket sales yesterday, and some of y'all hopped the train. Now, y'all need to stop it. Stop playing. The train ride is free. All you got to do is hit the like button. So as you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button, okay? So everybody, can I get a what in the chat? A choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. We're about to board this train. Tonight is Love and Marriage Huntsville recap. Listen, that comeback group, I'm going to go to Huntsville myself. Take a flight out there, and I'm going to dismantle the comeback group because it's a hot mess, okay? I'm going to personally do it. I'm going to gather all of them together in the room, and I'm going to say, this is it. Do not come to us another season with this comeback group issues, okay? I'm over it. Tiffany gets rushed to the hospital. Mel wants her name back. Melanie Rogers, and she's all the business is Melanie Cherie. Listen, Martell he keep coming with the suits. Y'all try to play my boy Martell out with the fashion. I'm not dealing with the man that he is right now. Let's talk about the fashion. Now he gonna have his own suit line. Are y'all buying? Y'all gonna line up? He said about $600 and $700 price range. You're getting a suit? We're gonna talk about this, okay? And listen. Marceau said, if you talk money, you greedy. He's messy. No, if I come to an event and I do my personality there and the people know me and I'm bringing the people in the building for you, you're going to have to give me some coins. $100, something, slide me some money, some lunch money, a Starbucks card, Dunkin' Donuts, something. Don't be playing me out because I want to get paid to do this event, talking about give back to the people. I get back when I want to get back. I get in my church every Sunday, the tithes. Now give me my money. Run me my cash. If you want my name up on the thing, on the Blaque Expo. Now I got to board this train, y'all. Are y'all ready? We're going to get into it. Let's board this train, and we got our monthly ticket holder back in the building. Hey, Robin.
Hey, I'm just back from doing the bookkeeping for the Diva Tribe panel and noting that we are much more productive than that comeback group.
Hello, holla. All right, now, Roy is in the building. Hey, Roy.
Good evening, Auntie Diva. Good evening, beautiful people. Y'all make sure we hitting that like button tonight. We leaving
number 18
down in the
comments.
Choo. Yes, choo.
Yeah.
Choo.
Hey,
Dustin. Hey, the Don.
Hey,
what's going on?
What's
my
up?
best friend.
Hey, in my opinion. Hey, Savannah. Oops.
Hey, Diva.
Hey.
Hello, Diva. Hello, panel.
Hello, in my opinion.
Listen, guys, we're going to get right into this conversation because we got lots to talk about. Tiffany, y'all know I had a sore spot in my side here for Tiffany. She came up on the show, and listen, people could get me with a story. I'm talking all the time, even in real life. My girlfriend be like, girl, wake up. They lying to you. I be like, no, but they said blah, 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 blah. No, she got me. She pulled on my heartstrings when she came here. Showed us the belly with the baby in it, looking all cute. I was feeling her. And now Tiffany up on Love and Marriage Huntsville acting a fool. Okay? Acting a fool. Now listen. Tiffany had to get rushed to the hospital from her own baby shower. She was sitting there dizzy, couldn't see. And then Stormy went over there and got the nurse. She got Kimmy. Kimmy talking about, I don't got my blood pressure cup. I don't have my supplies. I don't know what to do. Girl, how you feeling? She was like, should we call 911? And Tiffany didn't want to call 911. Big Lou scared. So he scoops Tiffany up and takes her to the hospital. And Stormy, you know what, Stormy? You tried to help. I'm okay, Stormy. I'm going to recognize you tried to help. I like you for that, Stormy. Thanks for trying to save Tiffany, the baby, and trying to, coordinate the situation. So I'm going to give Stormy credit for that. Come on, Stormy, okay? Then we got Maurice, Marcel, Tisa, Gino, Gino's daughter, and whoever other randoms was at the dirt site to take photos. So, okay, they was there to take photos. I don't know what the purpose of that scene was, but hey, they had a photographer. Some pictures were taken. Not sure what website these pictures are going up at, but I would have rather see them at Scott Manor, you know, putting the foundation down or building a closet or something. But instead, we see them with the shovels and taking photos. And they was proud of that. And Maurice stopped by. Okay, that was nice. Now, Mel went to her lawyer. We're going to throw all these scenes together. Mel went to her lawyer. And she talking to the lawyer. And she telling the lawyer, you know, I don't know what my watch talking about here. But she's telling the lawyer, I want my name back. So I want my name back. I'm sick of being, you know, a Holt. I'm over it. I want to go back to Rogers. Okay, Melanie Rogers. Okay, and right now I'm doing everything Melanie Cherie. And why did they need to know all my business in the courtroom? And I want my name back. And that's that. And they now, did y'all catch it? Because y'all love to say, don't let him be a father. Don't let him be a father. Don't let him be a father. Did you catch it out her own mouth saying, right now we good? She said, right now all is well. She said that, and then 2 seconds later, at the comeback meeting or the Blaque Expo meeting, she wouldn't even shake his hand.
Good for her.
But, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, are you good with him or are you not? But anywho, right? And so that's Melody at the lawyer's office. And then we'll take this all the way up to when Martell went, you know, to, in fact, I'll leave that out for right now. We'll talk about that separately. We'll talk about those three scenes first. Robin, what are your thoughts? We had Tiffany had to be rushed to the hospital. We had, you know, the pictures with the dirt site. And we had, you know, Mel at the lawyer's office. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Robin?
I didn't realize until now, but I actually still ride for Tiffany.
Okay.
I was concerned that she didn't want to like make that move immediately to the hospital, but we tend to all be in denial. I hollered when you said the dirt site. Now that was an alleged groundbreaking for what I don't know, but it was real fugazi only because all of a sudden it's like, if you there, you in the picture. Really?
That part.
And I think I rewound it a couple of times and I never caught what they were breaking ground for. But again, I think it was all a matter of the posery of it all. Let me put this up on the gram or something. I didn't buy it. It was very fake, phony, and fraudulent to me. I actually really did appreciate the scene with Mel in The Attorney because it was definitely very much her producing that segment, but she was also trying to give us information. Yeah, I know you seen all this play out on social media, but let me just wrap it up in a bow. I didn't have a problem with her not wanting to shake his Martell's hand because he is so disgustingly grimy to me. I don't like how he behaves. And you know what? I don't have to touch you. I can say hello. I don't need to extend my cordiality beyond my words. Respect my space.
Boom. Royer, what are your thoughts on those three scenes? You know, Tiff had to be rushed to the hospital.
Tiffany had to be rushing to the hospital. She faking it and funking it. She didn't want to have to fess up because she knew everybody was going to be coming for her for all the trash she been talking the past 2 weeks. You've been talking about everybody behind their back, and it's just so funny now all of a sudden that everybody is together. Now you want to have distress and your blood pressure then drop low to the ground. Baby boo, bye. No, ma'am. No, who don't want to go to the hospital when they're seeing stars and dizzy and can't stand up and you're pregnant? Somebody help me out, please. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Ma'am, you're dizzy. You're seeing stars. She even said that she was seeing 2 of Kimmy's. Where's
I
this
completely agree with Royer. Completely agree.
Where is this normal? And just like she set you up a couple of months ago, Diva, here she goes setting you up again.
Ooh, don't do that.
For the okie doke.
Don't do that.
That is so true.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Next up on the docket, we have the scene with the dirt breaking. And so, like you said, I don't know what they were dirt breaking on. It was just a bunch of dirt, So I guess they just wanted to take a picture. Maybe this will be an office picture, something they can put on the wall to make it seem like that they, doing some work, but I don't see no work being done.
And Gino's daughter? I'm not no
That's what I
shade
was
to the
just
daughter.
like,
What did she do? And she had a shovel. But go ahead.
Well, listen, it's so funny that she working there. Did she get an office and Tisha didn't get one either, though? And then what was that final scene?
Mel and the lawyer.
Mel and the lawyer. Fake, phony. Well, let me back up real quick. Mm-hmm. I think the only reason we had the dirt scene is because, Melanie has thus far been the only one showing off, that she is still practicing business. And I'm going to reflect back. I love the other week how we opened up with her property preservation. I mean, she's still out here. She is giving the business of love and marriage Huntsville. Unfortunately, though, she's not married, but at least she's giving the business of it. She is showing that she is serious about her businesses. And I love that she was willing to open up to other entrepreneurs who were willing and open to doing this. And that's what it was given for Tisha and Marcel. Y'all was just trying to copycat, make it seem like y'all doing something, but I don't see no work being done still. And then
I agree with that. Mm-hmm. Just 1 second, really quick, Roya. Nikki, I swear you look like you in a movie scene. Like this.
Hold on. What? I look like, why do you say that?
Child, she is driving up the mountain to save her marriage. Okay, boo. Yes.
Kind of passing you as you drive. Like it's like a little movie scene. But go back on mute.
Okay.
Watch the road. I'm coming to you. But yeah, I will agree with you on that. Okay, that you got that. You got that. Now, Mel and the lawyer.
Mel and the lawyer, fake and fraud. Honey, why you gonna sit up here and act like you ain't been in the courtrooms filing motions just as well as your husband have too, girl? Stop it. You knew you was in a court situation with this man, and you knew that you was not gonna be able to change your name because of the court issues that y'all got going on. Just now, Mel, let it go, boo. This is who you was married to for 15 plus years. And it's okay, boo. We can't change the past.
No, we cannot.
The only thing we can do is affect the future.
Yeah.
And right now, your future is still a little cloudy because you're still dealing with this clown. But if you stop dealing with this clown, stop fighting with this clown, you'll be able to move on and change your name to whatever you want it to be.
Rogers. With you, I swear to goodness, I don't know why I fool with you. Listen, Carrie, thank you for the super sticker. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Listen, in my opinion, what are your thoughts?
Oh, diva. Okay, so I really don't care about Tiffany's scene. It was garbage. I didn't care about that. The build out of I really didn't care about that for real. I want to see it when it's done. Don't tell me about y'all finna build out. I just want to see it when it's done. Mail at the attorney office. Clearly, we know behind the scenes, what it is. Mm-hmm. And I really didn't care about this scene either because, truth be told, the only reason why we knew here in Alabama that her case was public record is because some mess-ass attorney put it on his website. So thank you, male attorney, for cluing us in, letting us know it was public record. We appreciate you.
Dustin. Dustin, what are your thoughts? Dustin, you there? You on mute? All right, I don't know what's going on with Dustin. Don, you're up.
I'm so sick of seeing all of these Sheba charade dirt patch fields that take 5, 6, 7 years to get built.
Come on.
I want to see a completed project. Stand in front of the completed project. That's what I want to see.
Yep.
You're a builder, not a dirt producer.
Can you hear me now, Diva?
That's what we want to see.
Exactly. Yes, I can, Dustin. Give me a minute. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
We want to see that. And Tiffany wanted to stay there because she wanted to be nosy. She wanted to get more information so she can talk about to more people. But I'm glad she got a husband that can scoop her up, put her in the back of the truck, and take her to the ER and say, "No, you getting up out of here. You ain't having this baby up in this chair, this sofa here today. We taking you to the hospital." And I'm glad Lou was there to, be the common sense at that particular time. Because, when you're dealing with pregnant women, sometimes you got to be the rational person because, they're emotional and they're dealing with their bodies. So yeah. I'm glad he was there, to be the rational person. Now, Miss Rogers, at this particular time, control the stuff that you can control, like your Instagram name that still says Melody Holt.
Oh no.
You don't have to go to court to change your Instagram name.
Oh my God.
If you wanted Rogers that bad, and I'm pretty sure this was filmed months ago, and you went to your lawyer's office to complain about Holt being your last name and you want your name Rogers, how come you haven't changed your Instagram name? Which is just going to settings and changing your name, your username. That's it.
Not the settings.
You don't have to, that's not getting your lawyers involved. Change the things that you have control of, Ms. Rogers. That was just a produced scene to try to, make something a big deal that it's not. You have control of some things, Ms. Rogers.
Okay, y'all killing me tonight. I cannot. But listen, guys, because I know y'all like to get on us and be like, leave her alone. You don't like her, so forth and so on. We like her. We're just trying to help her out. And the facts of the matter are, it may be because she don't want to give up her check mark. But if you serious, give it up. It says Melody Holt there.
Yeah, there you go. I was about to tell all the Melody fans, go to her Instagram page. There it is, right there. Holt.
Not Melody Rogers, Holt. Okay? But she wouldn't change her name.
She might need a season for the new name to kick in.
Well, no, she wanted it immediately, and she was mad that there was a case out there that she couldn't change it. Okay, but you can. You gotta lose that check mark because you dead serious about this. And you didn't know if it's a check mark issue, change that to Melody Rogers then, or Melody Cherie. But it does say Holt. Thank you, Don, for bringing the facts into the building. All right, it's a convenience thing. When you want it, that's when you want to do it. But okay, y'all making me laugh already. Dustin, what are your thoughts?
I just want to say that I agree with earlier. She didn't go in that hospital. She didn't need to stay at that party or whatever she was at. She didn't be in the hospital and make sure she had a baby in a hospital, not have a baby in a party. Oh, thank you. Come on now.
Tiffany, we're talking to you, Tiffany. All right. Savannah, you're in the building. What are your thoughts?
I see what type of night we're going to be having tonight. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. I believe Tiffany convinced Big Lou to take her home. I do not believe that they went to the ER that night. I believe she convinced him to take her home, and she would lay up in her bed and relaxed. I believe she wanted to stay at her baby shower to try to control the conversation and the narrative that was going to be kicking off that night. So was she in distress? Yes, I do believe she was in distress, but she did not want to go to the ER. She wanted to be home, and so I do believe that she convinced Lou to take her home. I would need to see ER discharge paperwork to really believe that she went to the ER. the dirt turning the scene.
Photo shoot.
Yeah, the photo shoot of Tisha, my darling. What were you wearing? I didn't understand who. Oh my goodness, what was she? That I thought it was Miss Wanda. Honestly, when I seen her, I thought that was Miss Wanda coming to the photo shoot for a minute. And so and then her arriving, I did hear something that her and Marcel weren't living together for a minute. I don't know if that was just some internet gossip, but it is picking up from what I hear. But I was wondering what she was wearing for their photo shoot. And I did find it interesting how her and the man that took over her office space, Gino, how they were interacting. So that was interesting. I wonder what Maurice was doing there, if he had no dealings with the dirt turning over ceremony. I didn't understand what his role was there. So and what and then the photos that were online, the Caucasian lady wasn't even in the photo, so they cropped her out of there. So I don't understand what that was all about. So that was just a big mess. And it's I wonder if that's going to take longer to build than their house. So that's going to be interesting. And then the melody scene, I didn't understand what the purpose of that was. So I'm interested to see what her June 17th celebration is going to be for her name change. So I like the play on symbol that she has there with the Mrs. Melody Cherie Rogers. So that was cute, and how she's playing it up online. So and the millimeters are really excited about that. So and then and Martell is a little upset. So that it's cute. It's interesting. But I went through something similar during my divorce. It took me some time to get my name back because of tax issues that I couldn't gain my maiden name back. So I understand what she was going through. So I see there where she had to go keep her name for a while. But if you want it, you can fight for it. So.
All right now. All right. So somebody wrote underneath the pictures about
She didn't want her name back because she wanted her name back. She could have got it in the divorce decree that happened 2 years before this.
True, but if you are tied to anything that's legally, if there's any tax liens or anything taxed, because I had to go through that with my ex-husband. He was military, and he had some tax issues, and I
But
could not separate
they
from
didn't have
him.
any tax issue. We looked at their divorce decree. It was straightforward.
All right, but you know what though, we'll move forward. Either way, Melanie Rogers, we wish you well, and we want you what you want for yourself. You want to go back to Melanie Rogers, we want that for you also. Okay, all right. So yes, yes.
Quick, how long was she married to How long was she married?
To Martell, I gotta look up to get the exact time period. I'll look it up and
15 years.
Was it 15 years? 15 years. Oh, over a decade.
So I wonder what made her change. I wonder what happened between now and 15 years ago.
Another baby, another woman.
A whole lot happened. But let's move on. Let me get to this next scene, because Martell is going to be selling suits, everybody. And I want to know. Yes, he is. He's going to be selling suits. Okay. He's coming out with his own suit line. And I need to know, are y'all going to purchase his suits for maybe yourself or the loved one in your life? Okay. He likes his suits. He said he don't let the suits wear him. He wears the suits. Okay. So he's like, he loved his suits. He's going to be coming out with a double-breasted suit line with the gold buttons. It's going to be a whole fashion show. Part of it's going to be dedicated to him and his suits. He's coming out. He's doing his thing. He's trying to up the game, and he's going to go into the fashion arena, okay? And the price range is going to be anywhere from I think he said, to $700, something like that. All right. Will you be purchasing for the men in your life a suit by Martell Holt? Okay. So he went there and, he's just saying that, he's ready. He's ready. And I forgot, I want to back up a little bit, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to back up. So yeah, so he's going to be, hold on one second, guys. So he's going to be, selling his suits. He needs 100K to start out. Now, I hope he has his 100K. The man said you don't have to give it all up front at once, okay? But if he doesn't have the whole 100K, maybe y'all can donate some money towards his, new venture that he wants to do. Enough of y'all, give 1,000 here, 1,500 there, and his suits can be in the store near you soon, all right? Now, we also have the scene that I want to add to this is Lou and Tiff. Okay, Lou and Tiff, they show a scene with them in the house. She's in the bed. And Tiffany, what's going on with Tiffany? You had this whole scare, and that's why I might lean a little bit towards what y'all saying, right? It was all a fraud. You had this whole scare where you was seeing stars, seeing double, and they told you was dehydrated, need to slow down or whatever, and you sitting in the bed talking about you going to take a trip. Your man is crying. He's crying because he thought he could have lost you and the baby you're carrying. And you're being just arrogant, talking about, well, I'm going on this trip. Do you know, I don't know how far along she was, but I do know this. At a certain stage in your pregnancy, they do not let you fly. Because they don't want those shenanigans up in the air. Got to have an emergency landing because you are going into labor. So I don't know how far along she was, but she's talking about some trip and some engagement that she already did. And this is going to be the last one. And she's going to eat right and drink right. And her man was crying. Now, also, Lou know how to speak up when he need to speak up. Because he did tell her at the end of that session, he said, don't put me in that position again where I got to go up and speak up for you because you running your mouth. He said, mind your business. If they don't ask you for your help, don't be just offering unsolicited advice. He told her pretty much to shut up and stop getting me in trouble, okay? So now I'm going to stop. Give it one last look, guys. That's the face of the menswear that's about to come out soon. He's going to sell you some double-breasted suits, okay? Going to get into the fashion game. And hey, why not? His ex-boo or current boo or phony boo, Sheba Sheree did it. So he said, why can't I? Okay, coming up with his suits. I'm going to start at the bottom this time. Savannah, what are your thoughts? Are you going to get a suit for the men in your life from Martell's suit line?
No, ma'am. Oh, no. Absolutely not. No, ma'am. If Martell was serious about this business venture, he would have did his homework not only on the gentleman that was backing him. I believe his name was Miguel.
Yeah, Miguel.
And he's well known. I believe that event happened here in DC. Martell should have came with ideas, sketches, should have went to a warehouse. It's hot in Huntsville. There's certain materials that you must wear. There's swatches. They should already be a winter line already designed. I mean, Martell is not thinking about anything but the bottom line about dollar. He does not do his homework. He does not. All he is thinking about is revenue, how much money is in it for him. He wants to do as little as possible, is not involved in anything. I don't know if you've seen that picture of him arriving to the event in the suit that he wore. It was shorts, it was plaid, it was tight. It was a hot mess. It was silly. No, Martell is not involved in any of his business ventures. He did not do his homework. So no, I will not be buying or supporting. And it has nothing to do with his extracurricular activities is just because he's not a good business person. So no. In regards to Tiffany and Big Lou, Tiffany knows better. That's the event that was here in DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't like that suit?
No, those suits are nice. It was the one that he arrived in. It was a plaid suit.
He's looking good there. He's trying to sell
Mm-hmm.
suits. The man's just trying to make some money. He got a lot of kids.
That's the one that they were clowning. That's what he arrived here in, and it was tight. He was unable to sit in some of there was some pictures he wasn't able to sit, so he had to lean because it was very tight. And so but in regards to Tiffany and Lou, this was what frustrates me about Tiffany. No one was asking for her advice, and she wasn't listening to Lou and or her body. Mm-hmm. And she has to be more than 7 months pregnant, and I believe her event was in DC. Traveling to DC is not easy, especially for a pregnant woman. So I definitely do not see where she is taking her health or her marriage seriously whatsoever. So no, I'm frustrated with Tiffany as well.
All right, we heard from you. Thank you, Savannah. The Don, what are your thoughts? Are you gonna buy a suit from Martell?
I am not going to buy a suit from Martell, but let me preface this.
Yes.
We are so used to these baggy Steve Harvey Kings of Comedy circa 2010 suits. Facts. And we think that that's the suit that's still in. There are some deacons that are 60, 70 years old that are still wearing those suits. But suits now for younger guys, we're not wearing those big baggy suits anymore. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're going to get a tailored suit, which is those are the only, I can't go get a 2 for $200 suit, 2 suits for $200. I can't wear those suits. Mm-hmm. So I have to get a tailored suit, and I have to put money into my suits. Right. So a suit that's $600 now, $600 for a 3-piece suit that's tailored to you is a reasonable price for a suit. Mm-hmm. Now I know you all are making fun of him with that suit, and those shorts were a little non-breathable, but the short with the double-breasted suit, that's a suit now that is popular. That's a popular suit now. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, it is what it is. Now, brothers aren't wearing them that tight, but, it's a popular suit now. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to buy Martell, his suits, but I am going to purchase, I do purchase my suits. Now, as far as Tiffany, I'm glad Lou is there with Tiffany, mm-hmm. because he's bringing some common sense into this whole situation. Yeah, he is. And then when I saw that big tear fall down on his jacket, I was like, man, he is really crying. Because, sometimes in these reality scenes, these shows, you can see a little bit of acting. Mm-hmm. But that big old tear that was the size of him fell on his jacket, and he had to wipe it off. I was like, yeah, he really loved this woman, and he doesn't want her to travel and get sick, and he's not there. And that's a scene that I really felt that was genuine. And for him and for Tiffany. Tiffany needs to really take heed to what he's saying. Mm-hmm. And I hope that, and I pray that, I'm pretty sure this was, months ago, but everything turned out well with her pregnancy. But she's so lackadaisical with traveling, and, after you just got sick, your blood pressure dropped, and you got a history of your blood pressure dropping, you still trying to get on the plane, and they're not going to service you if you're getting off on at BWI or Reagan. They're not, they may give you a wheelchair, but they're not going to baby you like he did. So I'll just be careful.
Yeah, especially when you know what I think it was the what is it what do they call the people that run track, the track star, who she died young. They said she died giving labor. Yeah, in labor. So sad. Like you can't take this thing lightly. It's like a serious thing. Don't just take it for granted. Like pregnancy, anything can happen, and you getting on the plane, and then you getting on without your husband.
Yeah. Yep. And one more thing, Diva. Let's not make it seem like Martell is the only celebrity that just put his name or face on an item and that be in selling. Yep. There are plenty of celebrities that slap their name on an item that has already been packaged and they're selling them. Like I just watched a documentary the other day about George Foreman. The George Foreman grill was already made.
Yep.
And he slapped his name on it and made hundreds of millions of dollars on it.
He sold that thing though too, didn't he?
He sold it. He sold
that thing. That thing.
He's not the only one who did it.
And I had a George Foreman grill. It's a mess, but I had one. Okay. I think everybody had one at any given time. But you know what? He was smart. Because every time you turn around, he was on that TV selling that thing, and then people swore by it. Come on now, Michael Strahan, Steve Harvey. No, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think he didn't come. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say this. Melanie definitely was the brains behind that marriage. And
absolutely.
Yeah, hands down. So he is totally lost without her. But I will say this, even though he's lost without her, he's still in these streets trying to do his thing. So, and on that note, we got to give it up to both of them individually for still trying to carry on financially as entrepreneurs, even though they are no longer together. Melanie definitely had an easier travel, so to speak, and I don't want to take it lightly, so I'm not trying to make it a light thing. Because she was the one who always did everything from the door anyway. Dustin, what are your thoughts? Martell in his suits. Seeing what I was at. And Lou, speaking to Tiff.
I won't support any. I won't support any suits. I just wonder how much. I just wonder what. I just wonder how much they're going to cost. How are people going to afford it this day and age?
There are people. You know what I found out, Dustin? People afford what they really want.
That part, Diva.
And I'm talking about whether you rich, poor, in between. When people want something, somehow, some way, they find a way to get it and afford it. And that's a point blank in a period. But I will be honest with you, right? Because I'm fortunate, I have a boy, and there's it's different from girls, right? And so, of course, when he has his major events, like I may could get away with buying 1 or 2 suits that he can utilize for several events. But when I do purchase them, they are a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But it's worth it. I
just wonder when they launch. I just wonder how much you're going to charge for do all
that. This will see. And I'm here trying to adjust this thing the whole time. But he said $700. He said $700, but he has a high level professional. So he's not being silly here. He has a high level professional that is extremely successful helping him. So it's not going to fail because of the person that is in this arena and has a track record is helping him.
I don't think it's going to fail anyway, Diva, because he's on the show and he's very popular. So I think that TV show is going to help him out a lot. I really do.
Right.
He's going to get a lot of orders when it does launch.
Yeah.
And he's however many seasons he's been on the show since season 1. and it's only going to get better.
Right.
So he's not going to fail no matter what. I'm just saying. Whatever he's going to do is going to be pretty steep and all that. It's definitely not going to be cheap. That's for sure.
Yep. All right, so let me go up to, I'm coming up to you, Roy. Stanley, you are right. The guy he's working with is well known and does great business, amazing business. He is definitely well known. And you know what? And that guy works with his wife. And you saw his wife sat there and had that thing all the way together. Roy, what are your thoughts on those two scenes?
You know, anytime Martell is trying to make some money, I support it because you got to pay for these babies that you done created. You know, you got 4 with Melanie and then 1 with Arena, whatever her name is.
Ariane.
Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm here for it. You know, I see that. I hope that he's gonna make good quality suits if he's gonna be charging $600-700. And you know, if we're honest, for those of us who are, you know, who wear real suits, you know, that is a nice suit. You know, most good suits cost you about, I would say, $200 to $400, you know, on a good day. Right. So, you know, I'm proud that he is still out here in these streets, trying to keep his life together, trying to support himself and his children. Right. You know, at least he's not trying to be a deadbeat like some of these people out here, you know.
That's facts.
He out here trying to make it happen for himself. You know, as you said, Diva, Melanie was the brains of this whole ordeal. And so now Martell is having to figure out how to do everything. So, you know, I'll have to see what the suits look like when they come out. I'm not gonna say that I won't buy one, you know, because
we're gonna get you on, Roy. We're gonna go to the place. And
I will definitely look into it.
Let's find out where this store is, okay?
Yeah, I will definitely look into it. I'm all about supporting Black businesses, you know, and then especially, you know, Black single fathers who trying to make it out here in these streets. You know, I'm not a single father and I'm not a parent, but I understand what the struggle is. So I'm here to support for that.
Okay, I'm gonna get Christian a suit. All right, that's what we're gonna support. All right.
Look,
if it's in my area near me, I'll get the kid a suit and I'll take a picture.
Now y'all making me feel guilty. Let me go get one.
All right.
Don't sell this so short.
I'm so dead. Well, you know, I can't preach one thing on my channel and then say another. So that's why I said I got to clean that up. You know, I love to support Black businesses, and I'm quick to shout out a Black business. So I can't down a Black business when I see one that's trying to be up and coming and successful. You know, like he said, he's trying to make good quality suits. And we cannot take away from the fact that Martell has shown up all 6 seasons in a nice suit, and it looks good on him. Like he said, he doesn't wear the suit. I mean, yeah, he doesn't wear the suits. No, the suits don't wear him. He wears the suits. So he said that part. And then when it comes to Tiffany and her husband, Big Lou, you know, like I said at the beginning, fake and fraud. You can sit up in the bed and you can prepare for flights and all of this stuff. But, ma'am, go away from us with this Apollo. Like, go away. Go away.
Yeah.
At least Tiffany recognizes that she needs to fix the way that she comes across and certain things that she says. And you need to be glad that you have a husband who cares and supports you in the manner that he does. Because you have people sitting on the very same cast that you are sitting on who beg their husbands on a regular to support them and be there for them. So be grateful for what you got and stop complaining.
Woo! You know what, Roy? That's facts. That's facts. And that man was hurt. When you see your husband cry, then you know it's not to say that you don't know it's serious outside of that, but you know it's real serious when you sitting there and you see your husband cry. Come on now. I would be like, you know what, babe, let me see how I can get out of this, or maybe zoom in or whatever and explain to them it's the baby, it's my health. And I promise you this, I don't know what with how many weeks it is, but usually airlines don't let you fly the last trimester of your pregnancy.
That was like the last 6 weeks, right?
I thought it was the last trimester. I don't know, but you know, we have to look into that. But either way, she probably went already. But still, Tiffany, what are you doing? Robin, what are your thoughts?
I'd like to start with Martell and the whole notion of being on a reality TV show and then engaging businesses. Martell, I don't know what his hands feel like, They gotta be gummy because he has stuck his hand in several pots of spaghetti, thrown them against the wall to see what sticks. Is it the wine? Is it the cookbook? Is it gonna be the underwear? Maybe it's the suits. Here's the thing. I believe that of all these different concepts, ideas, and ventures, the one that is most, in my opinion, best associated with his personal image would be the suit line. And I support it, except that I think that he's not, I believe that he does not, I'm not going to call him dumb. I'm going to say that I believe that he lacks the business acumen and sophistication that would afford him the best return on the investment that might be his name, likeness. Yeah, his name and likeness. When we watched, and we know it's edited, but when I watched him sit down with this gentleman who I understand is very well known and very well accomplished, has great business in Atlanta for suiting, the conversation that they showed us made me go, oh, this is just another ninja just gonna put his name on it. Because he didn't offer anything outside of his name. It was the wife who, it was the gentleman and his wife who put forward the type of suit, double-breasted, the distinction, which would be the gold buttons. He ain't say nothing. So I'm thinking he probably going to be idiotic enough to let them put his name on a suit, let him model it, and get paid a pittance. Because I just think that he has not demonstrated that he has a grasp of not just current events. I think that he's here for the today's dollar and not the future and investment. Just my opinion. I just don't, I think that it can happen, but I also don't think that, I also know that this gentleman who is the suit purveyor doesn't need Martell. I believe that him coming on this show was more of a boost to him and his business that would be outside of his catchment area in Georgia, than it would be something for Martell, because again, he is never, in my opinion, been shown on the show as being a mastermind, as being someone who can plan and execute. So I just think that he's just a name sharing. With regard to Tiffany and Lou, Tiffany's travel, I think that one of the things that she's suffering from is what she believes what her role is and what her commitment is to her business. And she knows the importance. If you listen to her, the speech that she was said to give in DC had everything to do with every bit about what her business is. And she didn't believe that what she was going to do was just to promote her business, but just to promote the concept and to invite people to be open to understanding the need and then the benefit of participating in clinical trials. And finally, I'm going to be slightly messy in this comment. With that scene with her and Lou, and how Lou was so emotional, and we saw him emote, and yes, the big tears dropped. I said, man, I love the fact that Big Lou ain't no kind of way no Maurice, because I 100% believe that Lou was in it for him and his wife, him and them together and their family from beginning, middle, and end. And I felt like watching that, felt like Maurice was just about, can she get better soon enough to just meet my needs? So those are my comments on that.
Yeah, for real.
That ain't messy. That's true.
Yeah, that's facts what you just said. So we're going to move on to this last scene, which was mind-blowing to me. So, Kimmy and Melanie was there first. And, they had their little chat, and she asked about the new boo. Melody, doesn't want to talk about it. So we can move on from that, right? Marcel shows up, and Maurice and Tisa show up. And Martell goes over to shake Melody's hand, and she's like, whatever. The debate on that is a debate that we're probably going to be split down the middle, or maybe not even down the middle. Maybe it's only Diva that feels like, what's the big deal? But I'll move on because I don't want to spend hours on that particular discussion. But my problem with Marcel and Tisa, they messy. And then for Marcel to try to guilt people by saying anybody who talks about money is just being greedy. Let's be clear. Why is it that you could clearly say that you're not paying anybody in this group, which in my mind meant that there perhaps may be some people that's going to speak at this event that you're willing to pay, but you're just not going to pay nobody sitting here. What kind of nonsense is that? Right? You want to tell me we should get back to the community that, supports us all along. Well, then you go ahead and do the event and you give back. And I'll see you on the other side, because time is money. And I feel that if you are getting something out of it, then you can compensate me. And nobody's saying have to compensate and have to be astronomical, but you can compensate me in some way, shape, or form. You're not going to just tell me, try to guilt trip me. That's the word I want to use. You're not going to guilt trip me into giving up my time for free. I give up my time for free where and when I want to, and I get paid where and when I want to get paid. And you're not going to tell me I'm being greedy by asking you about contracts, money, or business. That's how people get cheated, because they want to be quiet and not ask the right questions that they need to ask. So I thought they was being extremely messy, but then I thought towards the end, Maurice gave in to the nonsense. He was talking all this junk with Kimmy at first. So Maurice goes in and out. He flip-flops. Because at first he was, on Kimmy's side when Kimmy was trying to get the answers to the questions. And then he comes out of nowhere and says, I don't mind not being paid. What just happened, Maurice? And so Kimmy said, we need to call this thing what it is. Y'all repurposing the situation, stealing our idea. And instead of calling it the comeback group, you want to call it the Blaque Expo. It's the Blaque Expo / comeback group. And I need my money. And that's right, Robin. The Black, as in their company, Expo. Not black, as in black people. Blaque Expo, meaning their company. Y'all getting compensated, paid, reimbursed for everything that you're doing. And I believe every word that came out of Kimmy's mouth. Y'all not taking no loss and no hit for the community. Nobody does that. It's Tisa and Marcel. Everything they say sound a fool. Sound a straight fool. So I didn't expect anything less from them. You know what? I'm going to gather myself together next time they speak. It's the foolery for me from those two. And sitting there 10 toes down. Like, we don't expect y'all to get paid. And I will give this to Melody. Like Melody said, y'all wasn't even talking sponsors until I mentioned it. So nobody in that group can seem to get business right without Melody there showing them and telling them what to do. In my opinion, I think I skipped you. I'll start down at the bottom with you.
So this scene was kind of weird, kind of not, because I wish they had explained it all again, because if I'm not mistaken, from the very first time they had this conversation, the reason they wasn't paying everybody was because they wasn't going to charge people to come. In order for them to pay everybody, they would have to charge people to come. Mm-hmm. So I wish they would have had like a graph showing, what was going to be what, I just feel like with Tisha having such a big, strong business degree or something, she should have had a template up to show, exactly what was, what they was paying, what the expenses was, what I'm saying? Like something so we could actually see what was going on. But us not knowing, and I sure didn't go. So, yeah, it wasn't up my alley. We actually had one here in Magic City, so it wasn't no need me going there.
Okay, thank you, Bo. Don, what are your thoughts?
I'm sorry. I thought that this was a scene perfect for Melody to show her business acumen and show her skills as a businesswoman. This was her scene. But let me say this: when Kimmy came with that binder, I said, "Oh, here comes the mess." She pulled out that letter, the original letter.
Come on,
that,
the evidence.
Yes,
that,
yes.
The
that
receipts.
Maurice,
The receipts.
that about the comeback group that Marceau sent out, and she said that she's still paying the taxes for that group, and I was like, she's still paying this, but you all are gonna have this expo underneath this same name, and you all haven't even been taking care of the business.
Come on.
I will come in with an attitude as well. I will come in with,
facts.
No, it wasn't under the name. She wanted it under the comeback group name. She was telling them to put it under the comeback group because it was same characteristics. It wasn't under the comeback group. It was under Blaque.
Yeah, under Blaque. Yeah, put it under the comeback group because I've been taking care of this business. Let this business make a little money because y'all not going to be empty-handed. They're going to be vendors. Are the vendors free?
No.
Or are y'all going to get a kickback from the vendors? What's the under part that you all are not telling us? That's what I felt.
Don, I'm gonna let you finish, but every expo, because I've been a part of some of these expos, and they charge you for the booth per day. And if it's a weekend event, you can get the weekend price. You can get a price for being there one day. But I've never seen an expo, I heard of any expo where the vendors that take part of it don't have to pay to have a spot at that expo. I've never seen it.
Because the assumption is that it is a marketing opportunity for you to reap a return on your investment.
Yep.
Right. I've never seen that. And, like in my opinion said, even if the tickets are free, there is some money that's coming back to the pot. Where is the money going? And that's what I think that everyone wanted to know. If they would have been completely honest and said, we're expecting this amount of return, and this amount of money will be going towards charities, I think that people would have gotten it a little better. And even if they would have said, give me your amount that you're charged and your rider, because this is for charity, can we give you a portion of your amount, but give you your rider, and can you still do it? Because it's for charity. But because they were so dishonest up front, everybody put up a brick wall and was like, no, we're not doing this. If they were honest up front, I think it would have gone over a lot better with the rest of them. And then didn't he mention that they got a $100,000, or did I hear that? A $100,000?
No. Melody used that as an example.
Okay.
If you get $100,000 sponsor. But here's the thing also, it all depends upon the space, right? How much was the space cost that you rented? And will you break even by having enough vendors that paid to be there, once you rent the space, right?
Diva, I don't think they rented the space. I think they did it in Blaque.
Oh, did they?
No matter where they do it, the thing that's missing, and this is not my lane, but understanding how nonprofits work and a slight concept of taxes, you can pay me my whole fee and you can still write it off. So
if you're doing it for charity, absolutely.
People who believe that nonprofit means you don't get paid don't understand what nonprofit means. So there's that.
You definitely can write it off. That's true. That's true.
Wait, Espar, you are correct, but I was being sensitive to the millimeters. But you are 100% correct. Melanie is doing the same thing. Carlos Rip Robin on Real Housewives of Potomac for. Okay, she's not sharing her life. She needs to go. Come on, Espar, let's talk about it.
Let me tell you why she's wrong.
But wait, we don't have to say wrong. We can say
why I disagree.
Right? But hold on one second, Robin. I just want to go in order so I don't forget people. But I will come to you because when she sat there and Kimmy was asking her about her man, this, that, and the other, and she was like, nah. Really, to be honest with you, and I'm gonna come to you, Robin, and you could give whatever you want to say. But really, what storyline have we really heard from Melody? But that's just my thought. As far I'm connecting with you. Thank you for the super chat. Don, did you finish? I'm gonna move on to Dustin if you did.
Well, that point made me think of something. Mm-hmm. Melody really needs to try to figure out her relationship with this group because you can't be pole dancing with that old lady, for another 3 seasons and think that's going to be
that part.
Keep you on the show. You're going to have to figure out your relationships with the rest of the people on this show. Either you're going to have to bring another person that you're going to be friends with for another year, and then the next year not be friends with them, or get back cool with the people who were the originals on the show in some shape or form.
Because that's why Stormy came. It was supposed to be her and Stormy. Now her and Stormy aren't that cool, right? So now you got Miss Nell, because Miss Nell is pretty much probably going to be neutral because she is older, right? And like you said, the next we saw for next week, she's going to be pole dancing with Miss Nell. Are we serious right now? What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay. Why do any of them need to be friends? You know what? Here, I'm gonna come to you, Robin, after I get to these other people. Here's the thing, though. If y'all gonna do a show, do a show. If you want to put on a show, put on a show. If you're not gonna put on a show, then don't put on a show and let them shut the production down. But you gotta know how to perform on the show. Let me tell you, there's one thing about me, because I think some people do it at work all the time. You don't love your coworkers, but when you at work, you know how to handle yourself in the meeting, collaborate with them, do what you got to do. And then when you step outside the building, if you work in the building or whatever, you're done with that part of your life. And if you want to say it's produced, it's this, it's that, or whatever, when they turn on the cameras, do your thing. When they shut the cameras off, cut it off. Well, what you can't do is on camera keep being like standoffish and don't want to participate in it because it's not going to be a show soon. Now, this I want to say when it comes to reality TV. When it comes to reality TV, a lot of them, when the reality TV is over, so is a lot of their income and everything else that was connected to them. Because people, the fans for reality TV is short-lived. When you in their face, that's when they in your face. But when you not in their face, it's a wrap. But I'm just saying. Dustin, what are your thoughts?
I agree with you, David. If you're on a TV show for a long time and you leave and you come back, you're not going to have the same support system that you had before, because it kind of upsets people. Like when you have a TV, like a break for like 2 years and you come back, I wouldn't be able to support that same show the same way as I did when it first came on. And maybe it's just me that feels that way, but that's the way that I feel. If you leave a show and you come back, you're not going to have the same support system like you always had before.
Well, the problem that Love and Marriage Huntsville is running into now too. Now DC is leaning towards being a top biller. It's when they first started, it was just them. They was the only part of the Love and Marriage whatever franchise. But now you got DC, and now they got Detroit on their heels. You better give a show.
Well,
They say you only better than your last performance. They better start giving a show. You got DC out there. You got Detroit out there. They on their heels. Yes.
When does Detroit premiere?
I don't know when Detroit is starting. I think they showed
the end of June.
The end of June. So,
okay, thank you.
You see what I'm saying? You got work to do.
Yeah.
So you so busy. See, the thing is, you can't be so mad that you lose in sight of the future.
See, let me say something real quick. I believe that these networks they get one show and they run with it, like too many shows at one time, like Love and Marriage Huntsville.
But you know what though, Dustin? Hold on one second. That is okay. It don't matter. You can have 32 shows. But if I was doing reality TV, there could be 32 shows, but I'm going to do whatever I got to do to make sure mine stand out amongst the rest. And so my thing is, you sitting here losing steam and having these storylines that are ridiculous and boring. And then you got others out there that are hungry because the new jack is always going to be hungry. Always going to be hungry. You got to be 10 steps ahead of the ones that's coming behind you, or you will fall behind. Dustin, give me a minute. Savannah, what are your thoughts?
First of all, Diva, these are not real, with the exception of Kimmy and Melody. These are not real business leaders. And real business leaders do not arrive to their meetings late.
Fact.
They should have been there 15 minutes early. That's the first thing they teach you in business. If you're on time, you're late.
Fact.
So they should have came in there prepared. And Tisha came in there with a agenda already. Came in there. Here's what we not going to do and what we're going to do. It wasn't open for discussion. They had came in there with the mindset that they weren't going to pay anyone. It wasn't even open for debate because Marceau already said that whoever wanted to even introduce the topic of being paid for speaking at the event
Greedy.
was greedy, or whatever he called him. Something was so that he and at that moment, I believe, I do think Martell was genuine, although I think he had a little hidden agenda of wanting to see what Melody's fee was for speaking. But I do think he was standing up for Melody because
He
he
always
knew
does.
that Melody would bring the people to the event.
Yeah.
So I do
Yeah,
believe that he was standing up for her.
1 second. You are correct. But if you ever notice, no matter what those two are going through, he always stands up for Melanie.
Mm-hmm.
He always does.
You
Even
took
when,
the words out of my mouth.
come on, Don. Even when Miss Wanda and her got into it, he stood up for Melanie.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to say about what I want everybody to kind of notice and say is, somebody can have issues in one area, but that doesn't mean the whole person is just bad. And
Right.
and I want to say this too. I like a lot about Melody. I really, really do. And
Mm-hmm.
the part that I love about Melody is the fact that as a young woman with 4 children, she got out of the marriage, she held her own, and she's doing the darn thing. It reminds me of Portia, even though at the time Portia didn't have any kids. Portia left with 0, and she built her way up to everything that she had. So I can admire a woman like that. So all I'm saying is, even in all the and listen, he could have been mad at Melody because Melody didn't shake his hand.
Right.
But if you listen to that talk, he was still talking everything to be on Melody's side. And I think it was a mixed bag. He probably needs to know her writer so he can have an idea what he needs to charge in the future. Because he can't really do this thing on his own.
Absolutely. He's not a good speaker. Absolutely. He is not a good speaker.
Melanie being on the side. And see, let me tell you this. If he was still with Melanie, that Inez wine would be on a different level. I'm not
absolutely agree.
Not good right now, but I know it would be on a different level. But go
absolutely
ahead.
agree. No, and I agree with you that because Tisha was giving everyone else's shout out during the business, and then she made just a little sly comment about and Melody and whatever she has going on. She knows exactly what Melody has going on with her businesses, but she didn't comment or mention them during the meeting. So she had to give her that little dig. But that idea about Melody, the sponsorship, that was her idea during the previous meeting. I knew it was going to be once I seen Kimmy with the binder and the sticky notes and the original letter. I said, okay, this is Kimmy came to play. Kimmy wasn't here for no BS. She needed some clarity because it just screamed scam. And I actually had to go back, and I had a hard time following their logic of what they were really trying to pull off. What was their agenda for this community event? What were they trying? Because there are vendors that you need to pay. Regardless, there is funds, there's monies that have to be exchanged. And where is this money's coming? Where's the money coming from? So someone is going to have to eventually pay.
Right. It's a mixed bag. So I ran expos before, right? Not on their level. So when you rent out the space, let's say the space is $1,000, and then you ask because they have the tables or whatever size the table are, right? And you tell every vendor that wants to be there, this is the size table you're going to get. Do you need a plug? Do you need this? Do you need whatever? So then you ask the venue, well, how many of these size tables and people can still walk around fit in here? Let's just make it up. Say it's 10. In the order to just get the money back you paid for just the hall, you divide that by 10 and say this is how much your table is going to be. Or you decide you might take some of the hit on the price of the hall. And then they get to make money off of their stuff. And then, but sometimes if you want them to come up to speak, it depends on what you want them to come up to speak and say. If they just going to come up and say, my business is blah, 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 this and that, this is where you find me, nobody's going to pay them to do that. You're still promoting your business. But if I want you to come up there and tell people how to be an entrepreneur, this, that, and the other, and I have a program in a slot, you deserve some money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And bottom line, it sounded like a big old fire event at part 2 to me at the end of it. That's what it ended up sounding like at the end of it to me. So it didn't make any sense. At the end of it, I wasn't able to follow what their logic was. So, and that's what I got out of that scene, Diva.
Yeah, just a mess. Roy, I'm up to you now. What's your thoughts? You on mute.
Sorry, everyone. Okay. My thoughts on this final scene. First of all, I love how Kimmy came prepared. I mean, Kimmy came prepared. She had her notebook, her binder, her notes, her highlighter, her pens, her pencils, everything. And I love how she so pettily, but ever so gently, interjected her little thoughts and opinions in and what it was and what it wasn't. I just love that. But let me jump back real quick because I did not like how, her and Melanie, she was trying to get Melanie to open up. You're this producer, Melody, so produce the scene, honey, because you weren't giving us nothing in this scene. You don't want to talk about who you dating. You don't want to talk about where you was, what you was doing, how you was like. What are you here for? If you're not going to give us the reality of your life, go away from us with this, Apollo. Now, I appreciate the business side of it, but that's not just what we're here for. We are here to see the personal life as well. You and Martell, y'all have separated. You talking about you want to change your last name and you done moved on. Well, if that's the case, honey, let's move forward. And even if it's not a serious guy that you're dating, open up about it. How was it? What did y'all do while y'all was there? We ain't got to know who he is, but give us some kind of detail to keep us interested in you outside of the business. Because other than that, you're not giving us anything. And if that's the case, we might as well cancel the whole show because ain't nobody really giving us nothing either. So on to the business of the matter, as somebody said on here, I'm sorry, I'm kind of working too. As somebody said, Martell and Tisha was late. Who show up late to their own meeting? And we ain't talking about 15, 20 minutes late. It seemed like we were sitting there for an hour waiting on y'all to show up to y'all meeting. Then when you show up, you want to come in talking about people ain't responded to your emails and ain't nobody done nothing. It was just giving fraud all the way. Mm-hmm. It was giving, as Kimmy said, y'all slapped new management on the building and kept the same names and the same ideas. Like, what are we doing? And then y'all don't want to pay me for my time and my efforts. Nothing's free in life. Nothing. And even as a YouTube content creator, I don't expect people to come to my channel for free. Now, if I got a little something for you, I will definitely bless you. But I don't expect anything for free. So for y'all who are on the level to be able to afford, to put out money and to fork it out, for you to try to play everybody to the left as if they're not offering services that's going to benefit y'all, it's totally disrespectful and totally out of line.
And I apologize. And I apologize, Roya. You made me think of something. That's the Tisha saying that they didn't respond to her emails, I think they did that deliberately because was she trying to take their ideas as her own? Is that why they didn't respond to her email? So I caught on that little tidbit as well. And she was like, oh, that's okay, because I think Kimmy and no one responded to her email, and she took that as oh, that's okay. But I think they did that deliberately because she was trying to take their ideas as
Kimmy
her own.
responded
No,
to that email.
the email was only supposed the
Kimmy
email was only
responded and they
supposed to
cut
be
it out
what they
because
was
Kimmy spoke
asking
up
for
and
their
was
fee.
like, no, and then they cut the whole part out. You seen where Kimmy was about to say she responded and they cut it out. So I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe y'all have an agenda for y'all too, Marcel and Tisha, and y'all want to reap the benefits off the agenda that everybody else has brought their idea to the table, and y'all just want to slap new management on it, as she said. It was completely wrong and completely out of pocket. And, you know, like Mel said, okay, she kicked you out of an event, but y'all have yet to sponsor anything that Mel has done. So how can you come to me and ask me to give services of you, but you ain't gave no services of me and what I put out to the community? It don't add up. It don't add up.
The math not mathing.
The math is not mathing. So I'm very, and like you said, Diva, the flip-flop, flipping ass bitch, Maurice, stop it. Stop it. Pick a side and stay on it.
Pick your wife's side.
No, he ain't even got to pick his wife's side because it's not going to be genuine. It's not going to be genuine. Kimmy don't need no more fakeness in her life.
Not in her league.
Not a none. Pick a
I'm
side.
gonna need my husband. I'm gonna need my husband to be on my side.
Child.
Are you gonna get hurt? We gonna
He not even on her side in the household when it comes to monsters. So why would he be on her side when it comes to the business?
That's true. That's facts.
That's
facts. That's facts. Robin, what are your thoughts?
I'd like to start by proposing a name change. My expectation, I believe that Tisa and Marceau should either change the name of the Scholt, whatever they call it, or start a whole new business called Scam Likely. That's the first thing. The second thing is, as it relates to this expo, it is so clear, based on if we're to believe what they're showing us on the TV, they did nothing from the first meeting to the next. I believe that Tisha and Marceau were just hoping that people would just fall in line and hook them up and do something. They not only seem unprepared to do whatever work is necessary to have a successful event, I think that they're unable to put in the work. I think that they are out of their league in that respect. I believe that it was clearly shown when we saw Melody and Kimmy sitting and talking. If you took a moment to really listen to them, they spoke about not just this whole expo crap, which is crap as a concept, but they talked about business from its foundation. They talked about the history of Blaque. They talk about the need for their pomp and circumstance and puffery that was clearly demonstrated when Kimmy said she brought that letter that Marcel wrote saying he wants to be the president of the comeback group. But you know what? When you're presidential, you know, the truth of the matter is there are two types of leadership. You can be someone who is like maybe appointed, or someone who is in name only. You can be an actual leader, and he's neither. He has not demonstrated the ability or even the desire to take the reins and move things forward. So I'm real dismayed about them, their process or lack thereof. I want to just offer a disclaimer that very often when I have my opinions about this show, I work really hard to comment on what they show us on the TV. And I try to make my comments relative to what we see. And the truth of the matter is, I have grave just concerns about not just this group, who they are, how they are. Oh, wait, before I even go there, y'all have said that you want more from from Melody, especially when that scene when Kimmy was asking her about her personal business.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going to be real about it, when I was listening to Royer talk about it, it took me back to a personal story. I have friends, you know what? Some people I'm going to tell my business to, some people I'm not. We're all part of the same friend group. You know what? I'll tell you what. My friend Yvonne is one of the people who knew all my business, if you know what I mean. But I didn't tell Julie everything because she ain't need to know everything. As long as that one person knows, you know what? And Julie, you can't ask Yvonne because Yvonne not going to tell you because Yvonne knew I didn't tell you. So you don't always want to share all your business. I also think that if we take it to real life, if I'm Melody, I'm not saying anything about anybody I'm dating out loud to any of you who have a possibility, whether you're Kimmy, who we're sitting here in the scene with, or if you're production, letting my information be out to this man who has demonstrated stalking behavior. No, so I'm with that. And so, you know what? When we talk about, and this is reality, that's real life. For real, I'm not saying nothing. Period.
Got you. Right.
Can I say something, Diva?
Of course you can.
If we can't say anything, don't post them.
Whoa. Hello. I agree.
Boom. Drop the mic.
You can post it. Just posting is saying
because
something.
that's
words
being
and
in the
pictures.
business.
Words and pictures
Leave
are
your
not
business,
exactly the same.
But leave your business
You have a
completely
choice.
off of it. Leave your business completely off of everything. That way,
You
no one can stalk you at all.
Right. I agree with you, right? I said earlier when I did a video, celebrities love to throw stuff out there and then tell people y'all need to mind your business. Well, you the one put your business in the street. Now, if you want to mind your business moment, Jay-Z and Beyonce. You don't hear Beyonce out in the street talking about Jay-Z make me pay 50-50. You don't. I want to say Jay-Z don't even have the Instagram or the social media like that. So not. if you don't want your business out there for people to discuss it, then you should not put it out there. And I think I said before, I got tons of family members. They can't stand social media and legit don't even have any social media pages. But if you put it out there for public consumption, you can't have a public platform and then tell people to mind their business. No, you put it out there for public consumption. So it's our business now, and we get to comment on it and say what we want to say. And if you don't like what we got to say, oh well, you shouldn't have put it out there. And my grandma used to say, if you told somebody, it's not a secret.
Can I talk? Can I tell something, Diva?
Yes, you can. Give me 1 minute, Dustin. You know, my grandma said, I told my best friend, well, it ain't a secret.
A secret no more, it's true.
Okay, you don't told it. Go ahead, Dustin. What would you like to say?
I was gonna say if you don't want to hear, if you don't want nobody to say it, or if you don't want nobody to, if you don't want nobody to see it or talk about it, don't put it on TV, or don't be on TV at all. That's what I like to say. If you don't want nobody to talk about it, you don't be on TV. So
you don't be on TV.
Don't be on TV and don't be on a public platform either.
Right. And let me say this too. Let's be clear about this. If you didn't have the platforms like the YouTube and that recap these shows and talk about it, a lot of times people start watching some of these individual shows because people are talking about it. They're like, oh my God, yeah. I didn't realize that show. Now I'm going to watch it because of y'all. Now I'm going to watch it because of this. Now I'm going to do whatever the case may be. So you can't have it both ways. Well, you signed up. Hold on 1 second, Dustin. You signed up for reality TV. So you got to take the good with the bad.
I didn't. When you started covering this show and I started listening to, when I started being on a panel, I started watching it because I haven't never. This is I didn't watch the show a long time ago, but I started watching it because of you, and that's the truth. I started watching it because I was on with you. I love being on the panel with you guys, so I started watching the show.
Oh, thanks, Dustin. But a lot of people do that. I started to look at other stuff because people used to cover it. not because I was loving it myself. So Melody showed what she wanted to show. She can answer what she wants to answer. You don't have the right to know what she doesn't want you to know about her life. Ask what you want, but listen, I don't feel, wait, hold on. Let me just say this really quickly. I don't care about no rights or no rights or this and that, and then mind your business nonsense and all of that. You signed up for reality TV. You signed up to put your business in the street, so people are going to be in your business. And you can't, hold on one second, Dustin. And you can't be like, oh, mind your business on this, mind your business on that. Then why did you come up here?
Well, don't sign the contract. Don't sign the TV contract if you don't want to be a part of it.
Right.
That's the point that I felt like I need to make. Don't sign the contract and don't be on the TV so people don't talk to you, don't talk about you.
That part. Hold on one second, Dustin. Emmanuel, you're in the building. What are your thoughts?
Hey guys, are y'all in the ending?
We're in the end. And
Hi, Emmanuel.
Okay. Hey,
Yes.
Auntie Robin. I just want to say about this episode. I really think Tisha is a good person. I really appreciated how she was. Did you notice how nice she was with Gio's daughter? And she was like, she's part of the group. Come on, let's take a picture with her. You saw that? Tisha is a really nice person, and I think she's really smart, business-wise and academically. Now, I don't think she's that smart socially, Diva. I do think it was
Emmanuel,
wrong for them.
I'm going to let you finish, Emmanuel, but I have to tell you this. She's smart business-wise. Business-wise, if you're smart, one thing is with this Blaque Expo, your presentation would have had more details. When you came to the second meeting, before you even came to the second meeting, you would have sent out the name is in my mind right now. You would have sent out follow-up emails that say, hey guys, sent y'all an email stating XYZ. I didn't get back the email from a few of you. Can you please respond? Here are my thoughts. You would have laid out verbatim your facts and your thoughts about the expo. I want to try to give this thing back to the community and get the charity. So the charity name is XYZ. That is the reason why I do not plan to pay anybody. Not just come up in there, bump your chest and say, I'm not paying your point blank period. And see, she didn't say she wasn't paying anybody. Listen to her words. She said, I'm not paying anybody in this group. Right? So I'm not paying anybody in this group. And then her husband backs her up to say, anybody who asks about payment, I think y'all being greedy. Huh? And then you have no organization to this thing. You don't tell me a time is going to start, a time is going to end. Do I get a booth space? Is some plugs going to be there so I can plug up if I need to plug up? Will I get a moment to get the mic and let the people in the building know that I'm over there on booth number 302? I got a discount for you if you're first time customer. Sign up. And then I got a little box here that you could put a ticket in. And at the end, I'm going to give away a basket or something like that. Am I going to have a chance to get the mic? And what is it? You talking about participate. How do you want me to participate? Do you want me to come up there and talk about hair, women's health, skincare? What is the agenda? Girl, no, she's not a good business person. She's a mess. She's a person who graduated with a business degree and doesn't know how to apply it, okay? And she didn't think nothing about sponsors, which you would have had to call people way before you even signed the wherever you're doing this Blaque Expo at. You would have had to call people ahead of time and said, this is the business plan. So you would have had to have it to get the sponsors to say, listen, this is my plan. I'm giving back to the community. Do you want to sponsor? Because if you're sponsoring, those names should be on the flyer. No, she gets an F for this, Emmanuel. Epic fail. Do I think she's nice because she asked Gio's daughter to be in the picture? It was a dirt ceremony. All right, it was nice that she didn't leave her standing off to the side, told her to get a shovel and put her hands on it. But my thing is that could be a little reckless too, because now you have some people looking at the picture and they're saying, well, oh, this is all Scholt. Who is she? Does she do the books? Is she the accountant? Is she the this? Is she the that? You can't just put randoms in a picture for your business. So I'm sorry, Emmanuel. You know I love you, and I always love when you come up here. But no, she gets an F.
Okay, well, maybe she's a little unorganized, but I still think I like her. I think she's a good person, and I'm a little conflicted about it because in the one side I understand, it's my time, pay me for my time while I'm gonna go speak. But then I I agree with the message, the communities who has put us where we are, let's give back to them. The issue I have is that I don't really trust Marceau. So I'm like, what if they say we're not gonna pay no one, but they get a kickback out of it or something? So in that way, I do think I don't know. So, but I think what they should have done is that they should have compromised. What they should have done was let's pay them, but let's not do these astronomical amounts. Let's do a low amount and something we can all, agree on. Now, as far as Melody, she didn't want to say who she was dating, right? I I support her because you noticed how when she was with the attorney, she said that Martell's lawyer was making her give over bank accounts and phone records and social media. I think she's at a place where every single thing she could do can be used against her. So I understand why she doesn't want to share who she's dating at this
Everything
time.
she does can be used against her, but she got a picture with the man arm around her on the social media. Let me say this, Emmanuel, because you're young. If you got a stalker in your life, that picture alone will have them stalking you again. I'm just telling y'all facts here. You take it from a lady that been around on this earth for a minute.
Amen.
If a
That
stalker
is true.
is in your
Amen.
life and they're going to stalk you, if they sniff that someone's in your life by an arm, a hand, a finger that looks like a man, they
Mm-hmm.
will call you, be up in your face, and start the stalking.
Jesus knows I got some stories.
Yep.
Come on now, Robin. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. And so, listen, Yvonne, I will agree with you on this. They call me a dark soul. Now you want me to give my service and my fan to you for free? No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. You're going to have to pay this dark soul. And you're going to have to pay me my regular fee. You don't even get a discount because you don't even really like me. And now this, let me say, this is my thoughts, and I want to be clear. I feel that Tisa is jealous of Melody, and she always has been, and she always will be.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I do. But if you watch from the beginning, remember Melody had the mommy something whatever, and then 2 seconds later, Tisa comes up with a mommy something whatever. Now you could say maybe I inspired you, or maybe you're obsessed with me, but it's something. And listen, 10 toes down, 10 toes down. They did not think about sponsors until Melody said it.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Anything else, Emmanuel? We about to wrap this thing up.
No, that's it. Just want to say that.
I
Can I
appreciate
say something
it.
really quickly about dark souls?
Yes.
When we think of the notion and concept of dark souls, I want everyone to think about Emmanuel, because he is so the exact opposite of that. He always shows up with light,
Yes, he
love.
does.
He
Yes.
always sees the better and best side of everybody. It is a rare occasion that he will speak negatively about someone. And I believe that that is a wonderful quality that you have, Emmanuel. And thank you for bringing
Thank you.
that to this group.
Yes, he does have good quality. We just got to educate him down there. But I always love you, Emmanuel. So we're closing out. And listen, guys, when I say 60 seconds, I mean 60 seconds. This was a good episode. I had a good time recapping it. What's your final words, Emmanuel? You wasn't here, but Martell Holt is going to be selling suits. Will you buy one of his suits?
No, if I do, I'll have to buy a size bigger than what I am because those are way too tight.
They're going to be tailor made, so you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Okay. Listen, Dustin, what are your final words? 60 seconds.
I enjoyed this live, and I love you, Diva, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
I love you back. Thank you so much for being here. Savannah, 60 seconds. What are your final words?
I enjoyed the episode. I'm glad Stormy wasn't involved in the episode Saturday night. Besides, and I did look up the word laboring. That's not a real word. So I'm glad. Besides that, she didn't have anything else to do with the episode. But and I will not be supporting Martell with buying the suits. And I don't have issue with the price point at all, but I'm just not a fan of Martell. I don't, so, but thank you. It was a great show and discussion tonight, panel. Have a good night.
You too. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Okay. Yes, don't forget, guys, hit that like button. In my opinion, your final thoughts.
Just like y'all wouldn't serve the devil, don't serve none of these people that's on your reality TV. They not worth your time. You need to serve God or your higher being, whoever that is. But don't be in service to somebody else that you don't know.
That part, in my opinion.
Okay.
I feel like this show has a lot of missing parts to it that we're not seeing because I've done my due diligence and it's something that's missing. And me and Royale, we're gonna get to the bottom of it. We've been doing investigating reporting. We're gonna get to the bottom of it. Roy, check your messages.
Yeah. All right, get to the bottom of it, y'all. Don, what are your final thoughts?
Shout out to the Denver Nuggets for taking this championship.
Yes.
Oh, they did.
Yes.
Yep. And I'm back on rotation. I purchased a first class ticket on the train. And I just had to get through these playoffs.
All right, I hear you. Thank you for getting your ticket. Robin, what are your final thoughts?
I too applaud the Denver Nuggets, and I was rooting for them, the Dawn. So yay. I do want to say thank you to everyone. This was probably my favorite episode so far this season. I ride with the business sense that both Melody and Kimmy bring to us. And it's always a very lively, enjoyable discussion. And good night to all. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. Thanks for being on the Diva Train tonight. We appreciate you so much. If you did not hit that like button coming in, hit it on the way out. Tomorrow night, we're going to have what a show. Because guess what? It's Wednesday and we are doing trending topics. And also, guys, tomorrow, Jonathan Majors, he will be going back to court. See, probably by the time we do trending topics, we will know part of his fate and this whole situation that he has gotten himself into. I guess we're going to give a shout out to Tyler Perry. It seems like a lot of people were battling for BET. He's won the fight. BET belongs to Tyler Perry. So listen, guys, thank you so much for being here. And I'll say this final word. We can learn a lot from other people. Learn a lesson from Nene Leakes. And I want to tell y'all this. Never, ever burn a bridge. You never know what bridge you may need to cross again. Nene threw bombs on the Bravo Bridge. And this past Sunday, they gave her the middle finger. They scrubbed her from Bravo history. Listen, guys. Good night. Love y'all. See you next time.
Love you. See you tomorrow.
And I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Choo.
Good night.
Bye.